What if I told you one tiny habit saved a man's brain, joints, heart, and marriage all after the age of 65? George Sanders, a retired firefighter from Ohio, thought his days of vitality were over. Constant fatigue, cholesterol meds piling up, forgetfulness that scared his wife. It all hit after turning 66. But everything changed because of one seed, no. Not a metaphor, a literal seed he added to his oatmeal. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, MD. And today, I'm going to walk you through what happened to George, the real science behind it, and why this seed could help millions of people over 60, feel like themselves again physically, mentally, emotionally. The seed I'm talking about, flax. And this isn't just another health craze. New research from the journal Nutrients in 2019 shows that flaxseed consumption significantly improves omega-3 levels, lowers inflammation, and boosts fiber absorption, especially in people over 60. But here's the kicker. Most people eat flax the wrong way and cancel out 80% of its benefits. In this video, you'll discover how flax impacts brain clarity, blood pressure, cholesterol, and more. Why George's energy came back and his brain fog lifted. The 3 most common mistakes people make with flax. Comment yes if you want more natural health tips like this. And subscribe to join a growing tribe of seniors rewriting the rules of aging. Now, let's dive in. George never thought something as small as a flaxseed could change his life, but it did. In the fall of 2023, at age 67, George began to notice troubling signs: brain fog, forgetting where he left his car keys, and even struggling with basic conversations. His doctor in Columbus, Ohio, told him it was just normal aging. But deep down, George felt something was off. That's when I stepped in. As a physician who's helped thousands of seniors reclaim their health, I urged George to change one tiny thing in his breakfast routine. Start adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed every morning. That's it. No supplements. No major diet changes. Just 1 tablespoon. What happened over the next 8 weeks was astonishing. The omega-3s in flaxseed specifically, ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, began to restore flexibility to George's brain cell membranes. Neuroplasticity improved. His mind felt sharper. He even joked that he could finally beat his grandson at Scrabble again. Science backs it up. A 2016 study in Nutritional Neuroscience showed that seniors supplementing with flaxseed oil had significantly better working memory and verbal fluency in just 12 weeks. That's because ALA fights inflammation in the brain, one of the hidden causes behind memory loss and cognitive decline. By week 10, George said something that hit me hard. "Doc, it's like someone turned the lights back on in my brain." Let that sink in. A food, not a drug, helped reverse his mental decline. Now, I'm not saying flaxseed is magic, but for many seniors, it could be the simple missing piece. Don't wait until confusion becomes your new normal. Start small, like George did, and watch the transformation unfold. It wasn't just George's mind that changed, his heart did too. And I mean that literally. By month 3 of eating flax seeds daily, George's blood pressure had dropped from a worrying 146/90 down to a steady 128/78. His cardiologist in Ohio was stunned. "Whatever you're doing, don't stop," she told him. The secret again. ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. This powerful omega-3 found in flax seeds doesn't just help your brain. It helps your arteries relax, your blood vessels widen, and your heart beat with less resistance. That means lower blood pressure, improved circulation, and reduced strain on your cardiovascular system. And George wasn't alone. In 2013, a landmark double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in Hypertension followed patients with high blood pressure. Half consumed 30 grams of ground flaxseed daily. The other half got a placebo. After 6 months, the flaxseed group saw an average drop of 10 mmHg in systolic pressure and 7 mmHg in diastolic, comparable to prescription medication. George's wife, Elaine, noticed more than just numbers. He's sleeping better. He walks farther. He's even laughing again. That's what happens when the body gets real support, not from synthetic pills, but from real food. But here's what I find fascinating. Most Americans still haven't heard this. They're taking pills, managing side effects, and juggling prescriptions when a few tablespoons of flaxseed could do some of the heavy lifting naturally. So here's what I want you to take from George's story. Sometimes, the solution isn't in a pharmacy. It's already in your pantry. Elaine had her own story to tell. As George's energy returned, so did their long morning walks through their neighborhood in Dayton, Ohio. But it was Elaine who began noticing something unexpected. Her skin was changing. "I've been dealing with dry, itchy skin for years," she told me during a webinar Q&A. But a month into eating flax seeds with George, my skin felt softer, smoother. That caught my attention. And the science backs it up. Flax seeds contain omega-3s, lignans, and antioxidants, all of which support skin barrier function, reduce inflammation, and fight oxidative stress, a key culprit behind wrinkles, dryness, and skin aging. In fact, a 2010 clinical trial published in Skin Pharmacology and Physiology showed that women who supplemented with flaxseed oil for 12 weeks experienced improved skin hydration, smoothness, and elasticity, along with less irritation and sensitivity. For Elaine, the change wasn't just on the outside. I didn't expect it, but I feel more confident now. Even George noticed. You see, aging skin isn't just about vanity. It's a mirror to what's happening inside your body. Dryness, irritation, premature lines. These often signal internal inflammation and nutritional deficiencies. What makes flax seeds unique is that they work from the inside out, replenishing the skin at a cellular level, not masking it with expensive creams. And unlike beauty trends that come and go, this one is rooted in nutritional science. So whether it's joint pain, heart health, or yes, even skin, you'll see a pattern. The body thrives when it's given the right tools. And flax seeds are one of those tools. A few weeks later, George walked into my clinic with a grin. "Doc, my cardiologist called me yesterday. He said my cholesterol numbers, they're finally coming down." That got my full attention. George had struggled with high cholesterol for over 15 years. Statins gave him side effects. Dietary changes helped a little, but nothing stuck. But now, after just 2 months of adding flax seeds to his breakfast, let's break it down. Flax seeds contain a unique combination of soluble fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, ALA, and lignans, 3 compounds that work synergistically to lower LDL bad cholesterol and raise HDL good cholesterol. Here's how. Soluble fiber binds to bile acids in your gut and helps flush cholesterol out of the body. ALA reduces inflammation in the blood vessels and prevents plaque buildup. Lignans act as antioxidants and help improve cholesterol metabolism. One 2012 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people with high cholesterol who consumed 30 grams of flaxseed powder daily for 3 months experienced a 17% drop in total cholesterol and a 20% drop in LDL cholesterol. Even better, a 2008 study in nutrition research showed a 12% rise in HDL good cholesterol after just 4 weeks of flaxseed use. George was living proof. And the best part, he didn't have to take another pill. Just a tablespoon of ground flax seeds mixed into his oatmeal every morning. "It's the only change I made," he told me. But for once, it made a difference. We often underestimate the power of simple changes, but when they're backed by solid science and applied consistently, they work. Flax seeds don't replace medication for everyone, but they can complement your strategy, and sometimes they outperform expectations. This wasn't just about cholesterol. It was about control. For the first time in years, George felt like he had a say in his own health. Elaine showed up at the clinic a week later, not for herself this time, but for George. "Dr. Hyman," she whispered. "He checked his blood pressure this morning. First time in years it wasn't scary." Now that caught me off guard. George had been on 2 separate blood pressure medications for nearly a decade. He hated the way they made him feel foggy, lightheaded. But every time he skipped a dose, the numbers skyrocketed, until now. You see, flax seeds aren't just good for cholesterol, they also help lower blood pressure naturally, especially in older adults. Why? Let's look at the biology. Flax seeds are rich in ALA alpha-linolenic acid, soluble fiber, and lignans, a triple threat when it comes to cardiovascular health. ALA reduces inflammation and helps blood vessels relax. Soluble fiber improves artery flexibility and blood flow. Lignans modulate hormone pathways that influence vascular tension and oxidative stress. A 2013 clinical trial published in Hypertension followed hypertensive patients who consumed 30 grams of ground flaxseed daily for 6 months. The results were stunning. Systolic pressure dropped by 10 mm. Diastolic pressure fell by 7 mmHg. These are numbers you'd expect from prescription drugs without the side effects. George didn't change his exercise routine. He didn't change his meds. The only variable: ground flaxseed. We ran a week's worth of blood pressure readings through his monitor. The trend was consistent, lower and steadier. Elaine smiled as George walked in behind her, clutching a grocery bag filled with flaxseed packets. "Doctor," he said, "I never thought something this small could do so much." Sometimes the most powerful medicine comes from the ground, not a bottle. If you're over 60, managing your blood pressure doesn't have to be a constant battle. With consistent use and smart nutrition, you might just find your numbers coming back into balance naturally. Elaine returned to my office 3 weeks later, not with a chart, but with a photograph. It was a picture of her. Same woman, same smile, but something was different. Her skin, radiant, smoother, brighter. "I haven't changed creams," she said. "Haven't bought anything new. But something's happening. My skin feels alive again." And it wasn't just her. George, sitting next to her, chimed in with a laugh. "She looks 10 years younger, Doc, and she keeps blaming the flax seeds." He wasn't wrong. Flax seeds are one of the most underrated skin-supporting foods on the planet. And for people over 60, where dryness, sensitivity, and thinning skin become common, the nutrients in flax can make a visible difference. Let's break it down. The ALA alpha-linolenic acid in flax seeds strengthens the skin barrier, reducing water loss and locking in moisture. Think of it as reinforcing the roof on a house you don't notice it until it leaks. ALA ensures it never does. The lignans and antioxidants in flax work from within to fight oxidative stress, slowing down collagen breakdown, smoothing wrinkles, and reducing age-related pigmentation. In a clinical study published in Skin Pharmacology and Physiology, women who consumed flaxseed oil daily for 12 weeks reported a 39% increase in skin hydration, a 45% reduction in skin roughness, a 31% boost in skin smoothness. Elaine didn't need those stats. She could feel the difference every time she looked in the mirror. She started mixing ground flax into her morning oatmeal, adding it to yogurt, even baking it into muffins. It wasn't skincare from the outside. It was skin nourishment from the inside out. And as her confidence grew, so did her glow. For older adults battling skin changes, the answer may not be at the beauty counter, it might be in your pantry. George wasn't just making jokes about Elaine's skin anymore. When he came in for his checkup a month later, he was holding a lab report. His cholesterol numbers had dropped significantly. "Doc," he said, eyes wide, "I haven't touched a pill. I've just been eating what she eats." That included 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds every morning. And here's what was happening behind the scenes. Flax seeds contain soluble fiber, ALA, omega-3s, and lignans, a trio of nutrients that work together to naturally lower cholesterol. First, soluble fiber binds to bile acids in the intestine's compounds made from cholesterol to help digest fat. Once bound, these bile acids get flushed out, forcing the liver to pull more cholesterol from the bloodstream to make new ones. The result? Lower total cholesterol and LDL, bad cholesterol levels. Meanwhile, ALA, omega-3, fatty acids reduce inflammation in blood vessels and improve lipid metabolism, while lignans combat oxidative stress, a hidden trigger behind artery damage. This isn't just theory. In a 2012 clinical study published in the Journal of Nutrition, participants who consumed 30 grams of flax seed daily for 3 months saw a 17% drop in total cholesterol, nearly 20% reduction in LDL levels. Another study from Nutrition Research in 2008 found just 10 grams a day raised HDL, good cholesterol, by 12%. George's numbers reflected those findings almost exactly. And he didn't even change his diet drastically, just added flax seeds. For older adults facing statin side effects, rising cholesterol, or early signs of cardiovascular risk, flax seeds are a gentle yet powerful alternative. No prescriptions, no side effects, just a spoonful of change. Elaine wasn't done transforming George's health. After tackling cholesterol, her next mission was blood sugar. George had been teetering at the edge of prediabetes for years, his fasting glucose flirting with danger. That's when Elaine doubled down on flax seeds. Why? Because flax seeds do something incredible for blood sugar. They slow it down. Their insoluble fiber adds bulk to meals without spiking glucose. Unlike soluble fiber, which forms a gel, insoluble fiber doesn't dissolve. Instead, it moves through the digestive system like a sponge, absorbing, sweeping, and slowing the release of sugar into the bloodstream. This slower digestion means fewer blood sugar spikes and fewer crashes, something every aging metabolism desperately needs. In a 2011 study published in the Journal of Dietary Supplements, adults with type 2 diabetes who took 10 to 20 grams of flax seed powder daily for 1 month experienced a reduction in blood sugar levels by up to 20%. What's more, lignans and omega-3s found in flax seeds lower inflammation, one of the silent contributors to insulin resistance. And then there's the satiety effect. Elaine had noticed something else. George no longer reached for a cookie at 3 p.m. or seconds at dinner. His appetite was shifting. That's because soluble fiber in flax seeds triggers satiety hormones like CCKK and peptide YY that tell your brain, hey, I'm full. And once those signals kick in, mindless snacking begins to disappear. A 2012 study in appetite confirmed that even a small amount, just 2.5 grams of flax fiber, can significantly reduce hunger. For older adults struggling with weight gain, shifting hormones, or slowing metabolism, flax seeds may be one of the simplest tools to regain control. George, he dropped 8 pounds in 2 months. Without dieting, just a new habit. Just flax. Sometimes, the smallest things create the biggest changes. For George, it wasn't a new medication. It wasn't an expensive supplement. It was a tiny seed flax. From the moment Elaine added it to his routine, something shifted. Over those 9 chapters of his journey, we witnessed what flax seeds can truly do when used right and with intention. First, they filled in the nutritional gaps that often widen after 60 vitamins, minerals, and most of all, omega-3s. Second, they recharged his brain. Memory sharpness returned. Focus deepened. Elaine said George started finishing sentences again. Third, they lowered inflammation and improved his heart health, something his statins never fully achieved. Fourth, they stabilized his blood pressure better than his meds, and with no side effects. Fifth, they repaired his digestion. No more bloating, no more constipation, just comfort. Sixth, they transformed his skin. Softer, less dry, younger. And George noticed the compliments. Seventh, they protected him against silent killers like hormone-driven cancers and metabolic diseases. Eighth, they helped balance his blood sugar. No more afternoon crashes, no more cravings. Ninth, they kept him satisfied, full, in control, empowered. He lost weight. Yes, but more importantly, he gained clarity. Flax seeds are not a trend. They're a tool, a simple, powerful, evidence-based strategy to take back control of your health, especially after 60. But here's the truth. None of this happens if you don't take the first step. You can keep scrolling, or you can do something today that your future self will thank you for. Start small, 1 tablespoon. Add it to your breakfast. Just try it. And if you found this video helpful, or if George's story made you think about someone you love, share this video. If you're over 50 and want more life-changing, science-backed strategies for aging strong and staying independent, subscribe right now and hit the bell. This is Dr. Mark Hyman. I'm here to guide you through real answers, natural tools, and lasting health. Let's do this together.